Oh boy, we're playing in the home game, folks, as we do this, and it means that everything is just a little more hectic, a little more chaotic. That's just the way we like it here on the RecPoker Podcast. I have the best freaking job in the world. My name's Jim Reid. I go by Bluffsterini in the home game and at RecPoker Jim on socials. And I'm here on Monday night every week at 9 o'clock talking poker with my friends live on YouTube, where you can join us for free and win a prize just for showing up. Now, we're going to be talking to Chris Lefty Land in just a moment. First, I'm proud to share we're brought to you by Running Aces. They are the official sponsor of the RecPoker Podcast. You can find out more about them at runaces.com. Most of what we do here is free. We're a largely volunteer-based organization, so we really depend on support from our sponsors and from our premium members who take part in our training material and study opportunities for only $22 a month. You can sign up for a free account at rec.poker today. All it takes is an email address and a smile. In fact, Chris Land, our man Lefty, he did it today. He can tell you later how easy it was. And you know we love supporting our food banks around here. So if you want to check out the perks of our premium membership, all you have to do is make a donation of any amount to your local food bank. Send us the receipt, and we'll happily send you your first month of premium for free as a way of saying thanks for helping out your fellow humans. Now, speaking of fellow humans, they let me host the show on Monday, so you get to know my voice, but I'm only one man. It takes a whole crew to make the magic happen around here. We call our leadership panel the RECing Crew. If you want to learn more about me or the rest of the RECing Crew, you can go to rec.poker/crew or listen up because you're going to meet a few of them tonight. We got a full house. It's John Somsky, Lorianne Persinger, Rob Washam, Joe Coolis, invisible producer Rob Gardner. Let's start with you, John. Say hi to RecPoker Nation. What's going on?
Hello, RecPoker Nation. I am the person who is responsible for making sure the club games run, and I'm to blame when they don't.
That's true. That's true. And who are you, Lorianne? Tell us about yourself.
Who am I? I'm Lorianne. No. And that's all I got. No, seriously. I living and loving life in Las Vegas, part-time poker player, part-time employee of the Las Vegas Aces, and full-time Las Vegas Aces fan. Freaking go Aces. In case you're not following, we're 2-0 in the WNBA finals. Just putting it out there.
Nice. Love it. Love the enthusiasm. And who's next? Rob Washam, RecPoker's Santa. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, you can find me as the Radman 50 just about everywhere. And living in Arizona right now, I've been hearing a lot about the Aces. So it's on the news. They're not very happy.
Yes. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I can't.
I was gonna say, sorry. Don't believe it for a second. She's
I'm not sorry.
I'm not a fan of either. So whichever makes you happy, Lori, is what we want.
Well, thank you. Yes. Well, we know which one makes me happy.
Joe Coolis, welcome to the group. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, thanks. As people know, I'm Joe Coolis. I run the PsyOps workshop that occurs every third Thursday of the month, and I generally am a provocateur for this particular podcast and try to push the limit on what can be said. Something about me going on is that the real basketball starts in a few weeks when my daughter takes the court for the Division III USJ women's basketball team. So that's basketball, not this
WNBA. Did you just say real basketball?
Oh, yeah.
Real basketball.
It's real
basketball for people who are doing it just for the sake of playing, not for
the love. For the love of the game.
Because people
thousands of dollars that they play.
I'm going to be nice now, but you wait till the show is over. We're going to have a story. And in a few years, when your daughter, gets drafted into the WNBA, you'll probably call that the real basketball.
As long as she's in it, it's the real basketball. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay, now I know what the guidelines are. Okay.
Invisible producer Rob Gardner, you were teasing us before we went live that you had some super secret announcement of some kind. Are you gonna break the tension and tell us what the heck you're talking about?
Nope, I'm not. I'm gonna give you two selfish, shameless plugs here. One. Currently at the top of the Run Good tournament leaderboard, and very happy and excited about that.
So
repping RecPoker Nation. And two, this is a very rare day because I know something about the RecPoker community that Jim Reid does not know. Something that he might lose some sleep over tonight. So we will talk about that immediately after the interview. Stick around.
Okay.
Release
All
the
right.
read files. Release the read files.
It's full transparency. Oh God, pull us out of that one. Okay, before we go completely off the rails, let's bring him in. The man that you're all here to talk to tonight, the one, the only, Chris Land. Chris, welcome to the RecPoker Podcast.
What's up, guys? Happy to be here.
Nice, man. Well, we've known each other sort of through the traveling poker world. We've both done some work with Poker.org. You seem like a really cool guy. You passed the vibe test when we've been hanging out in person. I'm going to start you off with the same question we asked all our guests. How would you define your own role in the poker world today?
I would say that I am a longtime massive poker fan who found a way to weasel his way into the industry.
Nice. So we have a lot in common, is what you're saying. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I
I luckboxed my
knew.
way into a role in the industry, and I could not be happier.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we're going to play opening the action. So regular listeners know we're invisible producer Rob Gardner is going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and we're going to fire through our lightning round, and we're going to see how many questions we can get in with Chris here. Chris, by the way, I know you're playing in the home game with our guests right now, or with our members right now. What's your username in the home name so people can take a look out for you?
It's Mad Kid Lefty, and the Mad is M-A-A.
Nice. And I'm just pulling you up here.
I'll make a
Rob?
note, Jim. For the next 120 seconds, this would be a great time to bluff him. He might be a little distracted. Just
If I start timing,
Yeah.
table.
Great point. Yeah, 2 minutes.
if
So
the time
LL
bank starts ticking
Tahoe.
down, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that. Look out, by the way, Chris. I'm looking at your table, and you've got some real killers at the table. So no easy seats in the RecPoker home game. You got some fierce warriors over there. Good luck.
I'd
to
have
you,
it
sir.
no other way.
All right. Well, let's put 2 minutes on the clock. It's opening the action with Chris Land. The first question's an easy one, Chris. What is your favorite poker hand?
10-9 of spades.
Oh, nice. Lorianne, make a note on that one. Is poker a gamble or a skill game?
I'd say it's a skill game with a little bit of gamble mixed in.
What's your biggest poker pet peeve?
Eating chicken wings at the table.
It's a good one. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Is Ace King a drawing hand?
Absolutely not.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I'm torn, but I'm still going to say no.
Do you prefer dogs or cats?
Dogs.
What's one thing you're afraid of?
Heights. Carnival rides that are really high.
Do you prefer tournaments or cash play?
Tournaments. Easy.
Should vacations be lazy or busy?
I feel like my vacations are always meant to be lazy, but with 2 kids, they end up being busy. So they should be lazy, but seldom are.
I like that. What's one thing you complain about in your life?
Oh, man. AC not low enough at the house.
Do you prefer live or online?
Live.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
100% yes.
Name one player you respect, just their name.
Andrew Moreno.
Yellow light coming up, slow down or speed up?
Slow down.
Who's your poker nemesis?
I'll say Omar Spader.
Are you pro chop?
I can't seem to beat.
Oh, that's a good one. Are you pro chop or no chop?
Depends if it helps us avoid taxation.
Oh, okay. I like that. Do you hang the toilet paper from the front or from the back?
From the front.
Peanut butter, crunchy or smooth?
Smooth.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses.
Slow rolls. Okay. All right. That was a good showing, Chris. Damn. All right. We're going to let our proprietary algorithm run in the background and assign you your score. But I think you're going to like it. That looked very
I
confusing.
feel like I did pretty good, Jim.
Yeah, I think you did. All right. So I want to just remind our YouTube audience that if you've got any questions for Chris, get them in. We're also going to be looking for names of players or poker people to play Stake Study Stack with at the end of the show. So get your suggestions in there as well. And of course, stick around. It's not only an amazing, fantastic surprise, compliments of Rob Gardner, but we're also, of course, going to be giving away a fantastic prize in our food bank support raffle at the end of the show. So stick around for that. All right, let's get into the meat of this show, the real questions. Lorianne Persinger, you're on the hot seat. Take it away.
Oh, I'm on the hot seat. Woo! Okay.
Woo!
That might be it. Let me get my fan. No. Hey, Chris, before you get into the really serious questions, I always like to know from Stake Study Stack, 10-9 of spades. Why is that your favorite hand?
I like hands that have a little bit of removal for the type, or unblock hands that should be folding to 3-bets, like, you know, Queen Jack off and King Jack off and just random stuff like that. And if they call, 10 Jack of spades is playing really well post flop. There's a lot of playability there.
Oh, so it's Jack 10 of spades, not 10-9 of spades. Did I get that
Jack
wrong?
10-9 of spades, sorry.
10-9 of spades, actually,
Yeah.
because that's actually one of my favorite hands too, is 10-9
Yeah,
of spades.
there we go.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, now the serious question. I'm just kidding. First and foremost, what specifically made you fall in love with poker?
Well, I was a freshman in college in 03 when Moneymaker won, but Moneymaker really didn't bring me in. I didn't watch it when it broadcast or anything, but some people that lived up the way from me did, and when they invited me and my roommate to go play a game with them, and I went and put $5 on the table and left with 43, and my mind was just blown. I was hooked from day one, and really didn't play at all for like a year. But when I left school, I started playing a lot, and poker is just such an elegantly beautiful game. I mean, it has everything that life has. You know what I mean? I mean, just like life, you can bust your ass and do everything right and still go home empty-handed. And I just think that that's, in a really, really weird way, beautiful. You know, it just teaches you resiliency and teaches you how to find confidence, find blessings and joy, even in the moments of just absolute destitution. So there is no game like poker. It really is a beautiful thing.
Ooh. And actually, I really love that answer. And because of that answer, I'm going to kind of switch up the order I asked the questions, because this was actually going to be my last question, but I'm going to ask this now. And that is, although your job is a poker writer / reporter, do you have any dreams or aspirations of actually winning a major poker tournament?
I don't know if there's anybody that's in poker media that doesn't secretly have that dream. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do. I've played, like I said, I've played poker for 21 years. 3 or 4 of those years, it was essentially my only income. So you could say I've played professionally, although it's tough to say what makes that a person, other than if you're just a high roller crusher. You know what I mean? And I've been close to a couple rings, but yeah, I 100% I would like to ship a few rings and maybe a bracelet someday.
If you could only win one major, which would it be?
Main event, baby.
Okay, I just wondering. I thought that, but I never like to assume. But
Yeah.
Okay, now back to what your actual job is. How did you get your start in writing poker?
Oh,
writing?
and you're on the
with
clock.
poker?
Oh, there we go. Got the full.
Were
Sorry.
we?
Home game update. Home game update.
Oh,
Oh yeah. I looked down and caught it. Yeah.
Right there.
okay.
I'm gonna be
Thank
time
you.
banking a little bit here, guys.
Yeah, just throw that in there. I like
Feeling
it.
respected, huh, Lorianne? Feeling respected there.
Yeah, I like this where it's all natural and everything, just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I think it's more fun when it's not quite so scripted.
Lorianne Persinger, hoping that everything will be en natural.
And with Joe, it's per singer.
Yeah, get it together, man.
All
All
right,
right, sorry, Lorianne.
Back
You were
to the
asking
guest. No.
a real question. I'm sorry.
Now, what was
See-
it?
see
How
what
did
you
I?
signed
How did
on
I?
for, Chris?
What's that? Yeah, I do. This is actually exactly what I was hoping for. To tell you the truth.
Oh, yes. How did you
So
get
the
your
question
start?
was how did I get into it?
Mhm.
So in 2023, you know, I've been like I said, I've been a poker fan for a long, long time, and have met people over the years at tournaments and stuff. And a like mutual online acquaintance, you might say, that I had for a number of years was Chad Holloway over at Poker News. And in 2023, he put out a post on his Facebook that said, "Here is a subject to cover. Submit a writing sample of no less than 500 words. We'd like to have some people come out to cover the World Series of Poker." And I had a different job. I've got a wife and 2 kids. And I just, for fun, honestly, because I have a background of creative writing just as a hobby for most of my life. So I just wanted to write it. and just didn't think anything of it. Really didn't think that I would get it. Didn't think that if I did get it, I would take it. But I submitted one, and probably 6 or 7 weeks later, I got an email, and it reminded me that I had turned it in. And my wife has access to all my emails, right? So she sees it, and she's like, "What is this?" Because I hadn't even told her. Like I said, I was going to turn it down if I got it. Probably wouldn't even mention it to my wife. And I said, "Oh, I turned in this writing sample a couple months ago, and I guess they're interested in having me out, but there's no way I'm going." I'm gonna 3-bet in the home game here, guys.
Yeah, nice.
I love it.
And
Take that, ship and flip wreck. That's Luke down in
a
New
3-bet
Zealand.
too small, though. I'm realizing now. This is gonna mess up my sizings.
Yeah.
But so my wife and my kids alike have always been my biggest supporters and my biggest fans in this whole poker thing. You know, even before I got into the industry in an official capacity, they always supported me going out a couple times a year here and there to circuits and kind of chasing the dream a little bit. And when she saw that, and I was like, well, yeah, they want me out, but there's no way I can leave you and the kids for 7 weeks. You know, it's just not going to happen. She looked at me like I was crazy. She was like, you absolutely have to do this. This is your dream. You have to do this, even if it's just once. So I contacted Chad. I had a couple interviews, and a couple months later, I was in Vegas covering the World Series of Poker 2023 for my first time.
Aw. I say aw because, like I said, it kind of brings back memories for me with 2019 a little bit, because
Yeah,
that's when I
it
covered.
was
Yeah, so it's
amazing.
like, aw, yeah. So, and lastly, I'm sure you have several, but if you'd like to give us some of your most memorable or favorite moments from covering poker.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple, and 2 of them are going to be from the same guy. I've had some a lot of really cool things, right? But 3 really stick out. Getting to watch Nick Schulman win his bracelet in the Bahamas last December with his daughter there and his wife, and the main event was actually already over, and technically my job was done. I was only there to cover the main, but I stayed late because I wanted to interview him and write a piece on him and everything. So getting to witness that, somebody who I've followed for 20 years now, and write what is still one of my favorite pieces I've ever put out, was really cool. The other 2 are from Bill Klein, and this is from the 2023 World Series. And I believe Bill Klein is a billionaire, right? So he's playing because he loves poker. It doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter to him. But there was probably 2 or 3 tables left in the limit hold'em tournament towards the end of the summer, and Jesse Sylvia opened, and Bill defended the big blind, and he didn't seem happy to defend the big blind. It was obvious, but it's limit poker. He just has to defend the big blind, right? So he calls, the flop comes, whatever it comes, and he just folds. Jesse looks at him and kind of gives this laugh and, well, how do I win the pot? Like making a joke out of it. And he puts a bet out and he goes, oh, there we go. And then he takes the pot in. Table's laughing. Bill is sitting with his head in his hand like this. And the dealer very seriously looks at Bill and says, sir, you can't do that. You can't fold to no action. And Bill Klein, who's a great guy, by the way, head in hand, looks at him and goes, penalize me. Just is serious as a heart attack in a really kind and warm way. And it was just so funny. And the other one that I'll give you real quick is from Bill again, like I said, and it's from the same tournament. We had probably lost 1 more table, so it was probably final 3 tables down to final 2 tables. And I'm standing right next to Bill, and he finishes a bottle of orange juice that he has. He looks around the room and he finds a trash can. He walks all the way across the room. With action coming up, the cards are being dealt, right? He walks all the way across the room, throws it away, comes back, takes his seat. And I said, Bill, you could have handed me that, but I would have took that for you. It's no big deal. You're playing. You're 12 from a bracelet or whatever. I would have took that for you. He looked at me and he gave me this like deep breath that like your grandfather would give you before he gives you just the best advice he's ever given you in your life. He looked at me and he said, you got to bust your own tables in this life. And it just was the coolest thing coming from a guy like Bill Klein, who could buy and sell me many times over. It's something that's always stuck out to me.
And actually, again, I love that because of the fact that I don't have a Bill Klein story that's anywhere near being as that cool. But I just remember a few years ago, just a real brief interaction. And to me, like I said, yes. And I believe, like you said, he is a billionaire, but I just always thought he was just genuine and just down to earth and just a total, for lack of, even though he's an older guy, just a totally chill guy. And which, like I said, is just, just very nice guy. Thank you. I love it. And Nick Schulman also is one of my all-time favorite players. So he's the epitome of cool.
He is the coolest cat in the room. It doesn't matter what room he's in. You could send him back to the 50s, 60s. He'd be the coolest guy in the room with the Rat Pack. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, he's that cool.
And the camera just loves him.
Oh God. And he's hilarious and just eloquent. He's top tier for sure.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
I know.
All that. Quite a package. That's what I'm hearing. Well, folks, I want to just remind our YouTube chatters, get your questions in for Chris. Stick around for the raffle at the end. Of course, I'd love it if you could support what we're doing by liking and subscribing to the channel. That helps us out a lot. And if you want to find out some other ways to support what we do here at Rec Poker, you can go to rec.poker/support and find some ways to help us out without spending a dollar, and a few ways that you can spend some dollars that'll help us out as well. I won't say that that's we're not going to turn up our nose at that. One great way that you can do it is becoming a premium member here. Of course, we love that. You can always get your first month of premium just by helping out your local food bank. And another great way would be to join our Patreon for $10 a month and get an audio version of most of our training videos downloaded to your phone like a podcast every month, which would be great. Chris, no pressure, but you're the second guest that we've had on the show since we started doing these later in the evening and while the home game was going on and having the guests come play in the home game. The first one were the Fishman brothers 2 weeks ago, Ben and Sam Fishman. And Ben won the tournament that night. He was our first guest to play in it, and they won it that night. So I'm not saying that if you don't win, it's like really disappointing, but the standard has been set very high. So like no pressure, but that's where you're working in.
Poker tournaments are easy to win, I think, right?
Totally easy.
Totally so easy to win.
Just play aces. That's what I do. My nickname is Bluffsterini, but I really only play aces. That's my secret. Joe Coolis, you had some questions for our man. Jump in.
Yeah, so I'm the resident stalker in the group, and so I tend to spend a lot of time, kind of churning around on the internet and seeing different things. And I guess one of the pictures on your Insta that I found, and I'm going to fold. Good luck to whoever gets that hand, but was that you're a rock climber, and I got to give you mad props because I can't climb rocks with 2 intact hands. How are you doing that with just 1? I mean, that's got to be a hard work.
Yeah, if the viewers maybe there's some people out there here and there that know me, but the viewers can't tell that I only have 1 arm. No, I wouldn't say I'm a rock climber. What I would say on that day is I have this almost delusional self-belief that I can just figure things out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It just kind of doesn't matter. That's actually how I ended up as a salaried employee at PokerWork, to tell you the truth. That's a funny story maybe for later in the podcast. Yeah. But my sons, my 2 sons are homeschooled. I have 2 boys, 11 and 6. And part of being homeschooled is, we take them to a lot of places and let them try a lot of new things. And some of it is physical activity. Some of it's learning. To that day that you're talking about was, it was a physical activity, and it was rock climbing. They had, they hook you into a harness that will catch you if you fall. And I got there not planning to try to rock climb with 1 hand, if I'm being honest. I got there, but when we got there and the kids got going, I was looking at some of these walls and I was like, I could climb some of these walls, I just know I can figure this out. Even some of the more moderately difficult looking ones, I was like, I could get to at least that part right there. And I'm always beyond happy to take and look for opportunities that are a living example that my sons can see of me just not laying down and dying. You know what I mean? Just like still getting after it, being driven, doing the hard things in life. You know what I mean? Because life's hard. So like, I want my kids to see me doing the hard things in life. And they were already climbing, and I said, you know what? Screw this. We're going to climb. And I walked over and I said, you guys let 1-arm guys climb? And they said, Yeah, you signed the waiver. You're good to go. And I was like, let me get that waiver.
Sign the waiver.
So that's how that ended up. And now it's actually become kind of a thing that our family likes to go do. So yeah, it's definitely would not say I'm a rock climber, but I would say that there's a lot of 2-armed people out there that I will out rock climb.
Yeah. You are, in my heart, you are a right climber, sir. So you said that you had a background in creative writing that led you. So what is that? Did you have a college degree? Did you do?
I said a hobbyist background.
Okay. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So my dad, growing up, he was a musician up until a certain point. But so from a very, very early age, I loved poetry. I loved music. At a really early age, like I remember appreciating the way that like movies would truck through a plot like I just like innately and very early on understood why some movies were better than other movies because of the way that the plot kind of carried itself, right? So I had a really, really early appreciation for creative writing. And really early on, probably 9 or 10 years old, that led to me to writing poetry, short stories, music. I played guitar in high school and was in a couple of like garage bands, you know what I mean? So just always loved it. I've still kind of got like a back of my mind dream of like writing and self-publishing like a short book someday. Fictional, like a fictional book.
Which kind of writing do you like the best? Because that's you talked about poetry and obviously music. You have writing that can go along with it, and then there's prose. So
it's probably a toss-up between like creative short stories and poetry, but poetry that's driven more towards being laid against musical tracks. So like I wouldn't say like I directly write music, but all great music is poetry.
Okay. So if you look over my shoulder, you'll see my axe sitting behind me. So I have to ask, since you're a guitar player, what instrument do you play?
Well, I no longer play. That's a very 2-armed activity.
Well, look, man, you were climbing rocks before, so
but it's that is truly one of the only things that pops to mind if people ask, like, what do you miss about having 2 arms? Playing guitar is one of them. I also played the drums. I messed around on the bass. I played the alto sax in high school. But yeah, guitar, especially acoustic, was always my thing. I loved electric guitar more than anything for a while. But I always found my way back to acoustic. There's just something very warm about it, something that's very organic and real. And I always appreciated that.
Yeah. Mine's sitting next to me as well.
There we go.
I'm sorry that you can't play, man. I would very much miss it if I didn't have the chance. So this may be a little bit more personal of a question, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But so you've got the 2 kids, and you're working through them. How do you spend time teaching them in the construct of having? It's not necessarily a disability, right? I don't want to put you in that point, but it's a challenge, right? And it's a pretty big challenge. How do you work through that with them, particularly to get them to get to the point where you say, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to give up. You shouldn't give up, and you should be able to do the things you want despite what life throws in your way.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just my personal experience, but my kids, a lot of time, they're very adventurous kids, and they come across a lot of things that they try and are learning that get difficult. So life truly kind of just organically blesses me, if you will, with the opportunity to just kind of not even point to myself, but to just kind of nudge them along. Like my oldest son can solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute. And when he was learning it, it took him, I mean, literally, it probably took him 6 to 8 weeks of like watching videos on the internet and like studying the algorithms that you use to solve a Rubik's Cube. And there were so many times that he wanted to chuck the thing against the wall. And all I really ever had to do was remind him, like, look, son, like, life's not fair. probably never will always be fair, and it's most certainly will never always be easy. And you've come so far. Did you come this far to not find the end of it? Because I'm certain you can do it, and the only thing that's going to stop you from doing it is if you stop right now. And thankfully, again, I don't know if this is just my own personal experience, but thankfully my kids have always been really receptive to that. And, just kind of giving them that calm reassurance and letting them know that, like, daddy's faced a lot of parts of life where I'd want to quit and give up too. And if I had, then I might not be here, sitting with you guys. And I'm really happy that I didn't. So just stuff like that kind of makes it easier, I think, for them to kind of recognize that, like, you know what, like it's frustrating right now in this moment, but I've had a lot of moments of triumphs to get to this moment, and I'm sure that if I get past this, I'll find some more moments of triumph. And they've accomplished a lot of things in their life that I probably never will. I still can't solve a damn Rubik's Cube. I tried. Okay, I tried.
Take the stickers off, and then you
yeah. So yeah, I'm an incredibly fortunate and blessed and proud father of two amazing young boys.
Well, look, I mean, I don't know you well enough, but I think that if those are the lessons you're teaching, resilience is one of those variables that predicts how well people will succeed despite a lot of different factors, and much more so than even IQ or a lot of other things that people think are more important. But that idea that you can push past a problem predicts not only good people, but also just success in life. So you're teaching them well.
I think that gets discounted a lot in today's world, and it's like, to a lot of people, that's not as glaringly obvious as it truly should be. You know what I mean? Like, really, if we're talking about secret sauces to life, like, it's that, and it's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you can always choose a positive perspective. It truly does not matter what it is. When I woke up having been hit head on by a truck and lost an arm, my thought wasn't, oh, woe is me, I lost an arm. My thought was, I'm alive. Let's get it. Like, it was party time. It wasn't time to be sad. So it's, I mean, you come up to a field of roses, you either see the thorns or you see the roses. You know what I mean? It's truly up to you. And resiliency and perspective is everything in the world that I want my kids to know.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you, man.
Thank you, man.
I thought it was kind of interesting when Joe was stalking you online. He came across another lefty, a Lefty Lund, who is apparently a poker player who cashed for almost $3 million over like the last 20 years. He's no longer with us, but a shout out to Hans Lefty Lund. So Chris, you're the second richest lefty that I heard. Third.
David Lefty Diaz. He actually finished, I think, 21st in the main event a few years ago.
Well, there you go.
You'll be happy to know that. You'll be happy to know that the AI did not actually come up with the third lefty. So you're, according to the computers, you're the only one of two, and the other one is no longer with us.
That's awesome. I just want to remind our audience, if you want to enter our raffle at the end of the show, we've got some great prizes we're going to give away. All you have to do to join is just type the word food bank into the YouTube chat. And we like to encourage people supporting local food banks around here. It's kind of a difficult time for a lot of folks in the world. And there's just one way that you can make the world a better place is just by either giving a few dollars out of your pocket, a few volunteer hours out of your week, or a few non-perishable food items from your own pantry. If you just pull out your smartphone right now and Google food banks near me, you'll find a place that can really benefit from your help right now. So I'd encourage you to do that. And of course, if you do email me, Jim at rec.poker, and we'll set you up with your first month of RecPoker for free. But for now, all you have to do is type the words food bank into the YouTube chat, and you are going to be eligible to win a fantastic prize at the end of the show in our food bank raffle. Rob Washam, you are the RecPoker Santa. What's our winner going to win this week?
Well, this week we're going to be giving away a free month of Jaka coaching membership.
Nice.
You gain access to 120 plus training videos, weekly group coaching, quizzes, and their online Discord community. Should you choose to continue your membership, you can receive a 15% off your first month by using the code RecPoker at checkout. So to learn more, go to Learning Partners, visit rec.poker/partners.
There you go. Check it out. And I want to thank Jeremy Herb Jeremy Herb is our newest premium member. He jumped back on board last week. And so, Jeremy, thank you so much for your support. Your $22 a month makes a huge difference to everything that we're doing here. We literally couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for your support. You talked, Chris, about a sort of a funny story about getting salaried at Poker. Why don't you let us in behind the curtain there? What was that all about?
Yeah, so it's basically just the way that I got my first gig at PokerOrg, right? Because in 2023, like I said, it was my first gig in poker. It was the Poker News, and it was the World Series, and I did a handful of stops for coverage with Poker News throughout the end of the year. And my last one with them was December at the very first World Series of Poker Paradise in the Bahamas. At the end of that, a friend, a colleague, who's still a colleague, he actually works with us at PokerOrg now. I was asking him what the landscape looked like for the coming year in terms of, US-based reporters, and he said it's getting pretty thin, actually. And he said you should reach out to TJ Reid over at PokerOrg and see if they've got any work for you. I had met TJ once at the time, the month before at NAPT, in passing, like, hey, nice to meet you, bye. Like that's all it was. So I cold DM'd him on Twitter and asked him, hey, I don't know if you've got any work, but if you don't, I'm probably going to be selling mattresses instead of being in a few weeks. So I was just reaching out before I put in some applications, you know what I mean? And he said, he said, I appreciate reaching out. I don't have anything for you right now, simply because I don't like to give anybody a shot unless I know that I have more work to give them should it work out. But I'll keep you in mind, and if something comes up, I'll reach out to you. No less than a week later, I mean, it was like 5 days later, he DM'd me back and he said, hey, have you ever done any video work? And I said, yep. And again, this goes back to that just delusional self-confidence, right? And I think that like almost every poker player has this in some form or fashion, to believe that you can beat, especially tournament players, to believe that you can beat tournaments long term. I mean, people do it, obviously, but it's not a ton of people that do it for tons of money. So like I just kind of knew that I could figure it out, right? So he said, okay, well, we've got I think it was the Winter Poker Open or whatnot, at Borgata in Atlantic City, and it was in January. And he said, we want to have you out for 16 days to come do some short form social media content. And I said, perfect. See you there. Flew out, and day one, I met Tiffany Michelle. Fantastic woman, by the way. She's awesome. And she was kind of giving me the rundown and whatnot. And I looked over her shoulder while she was editing a video to see what software she used, downloaded that software, and then just hit the floor and figured it out. Thankfully, they liked my eye for content. They liked my style of content. I only make things that I would watch, that I think are fun, that are funny, stuff like that. I'm kind of the guy that tries to find a way to make everything comedic in some way, if it's not like a big hand or something like that, you know what I mean? And they were really satisfied with what I was able to do, and the offers never stopped. And then about a year later, I signed on as a full-time employee over there.
That's outstanding. I love that. The chutzpah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Joe, what was that?
Don't tell them that, guys, okay?
Yeah, that's okay. That's just between us.
They don't watch this, do they? God, I hope
No,
not.
probably not. I don't think so.
I'm not making any promises. No, I'm kidding. My silence can be bought, though.
Yeah.
That's right. Joe, did you have something there? I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that Lorianne's silence can be bought. I mean, it's going to be a high price right there, but okay.
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, everybody's got a price. Well, let's take off on that a little bit, Chris. So that's been a few years now where you've been working in the industry in a few different capacities. Has it changed how you think about poker, and has it changed how you feel about poker?
Me and my buddy Jeremy, who also works at PokerOrg with me, who I met at Poker News, he literally has basically become my best friend in the world. We still will be on stops together, standing 6 feet from like Alex Fox and 4-betting somebody like with 18 left in a tournament, and we'll just look at each other and look around the room and be like, how did we get here? because to us it is still surreal. I'm not numb to it. It's still so amazing to me that I get to be such a big part of the only other passion that I have in my life aside from my wife and kids. So in terms of made me feel different about it, if the answer is yes, it's just that it's made me love poker even more. It's also made me a better player. I've met some incredible players. I get to talk hands with people that I never thought I would get to talk hands with. I'm certainly winning at a higher clip than I used to be because of it. So it's just, I couldn't be more fortunate or blessed to be in the position and the role that I am.
I love it. Now, I think you've really impressed me with your answers today. You've been very transparent. You've been very authentic and genuine. I really respect a lot of what you're saying, and I really appreciate you, sharing all of this with us and with our audience here. So first, kudos. It sounds like I might like you even more than I did before the episode, and I quite liked you already. But I also feel like I just know you a lot better after this chat. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that, bud.
Being your best self here for sure. You've mentioned your family and your kids quite a bit. You're, like many of our guests, you're balancing poker and a family life. Are there? It sounds like everyone there is very supportive, which I think is crucial for anyone considering taking a professional role in the industry. Are there points of friction? Are there compromises? Have you had to kind of give up on some things in order to have other things? What's that experience been?
Well, like I said, I wouldn't be in this industry if my wife hadn't pushed me to chase what she knew that I loved. So I want to put that out there first. But aside from that, for the most part, like I'm very fortunate. I spent half the year on the road in 2024. 2025, when we kind of figured out my contract, we protected me as best as I could from being on the road all the time because, my kids are at ages where they need their dad, and I'm acutely aware of that. And there's an amount of travel that I'm mentally capable of undertaking, knowing that they're back home. And then there's an amount that goes beyond that. Poker Org has been amazing in kind of helping me in that way and catering to that. But for the most part through the year, it's relatively easy. I'm home a good bit. When I'm gone, it's not terrible. Week here, 2 weeks there sometimes. The part that gets really difficult is, I've been at the World Series of Poker for 3 summers now, and they've not come out with me for any of those 3 summers. So it's a full 2 months away from the family. That gets hard. There's days where especially my 6-year-old. I mean, he's daddy's little boy, and there's days where he's upset and missing me. There's days where I'm upset and missing them. There's been some tears shed. There really has been. But I think we're also really good about remembering that if I left this thing that I love, it would be to go and do something that I didn't love, and it would also mean that it's a 9 to 5, and it's 5 to 6 days a week, and I'd see them every day, but it'd be, in the mornings for breakfast and then nighttime for bedtime. When I'm home from the road, I'm home, and it's daddy all day for weeks at a time. And we get time that a lot of families never will. And it takes some perspective to remember that sometimes in those moments of like where it's a little more difficult. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's great. There are moments of difficulty when it's the summertime and I'm in Vegas if they're not with me. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the long and short of it. It's really good most of the time, and then there are those moments.
You mentioned
the support is crucial, though. You are right, 100%.
Yeah, no, it'd be tough sledding otherwise for sure. You mentioned you and your wife share an email address or something, or you have access to each other's emails or something. That's very close. Tell what's happening there. What's going on there?
Well, she has access to everything of mine. So I don't use my Facebook anymore. I haven't really used it other than to I've not posted on Facebook in 2 or 3 years. My wife, though, loves Facebook Marketplace. She's a bargain hunter. So she has access to my Facebook. all of our emails are just logged in under the same Google like heads up display or whatever. So they all display together in one big mailbox. And if she sees something important that I've missed that's come to one of my mailboxes, she lets me know. Um, whenever I get paid, I just give her all the money, and she has access to all the accounts. So yeah, I mean, we've been together for 15 years. She's given me everything in life that means anything to me. So yeah, we're very, very close. She's got access to my everything. Heart, soul, bank accounts, Facebook, emails, all of it.
That's so sweet. You know she's not in the room right now, just so
I know.
Yeah. All right. God bless you, man. That's wonderful. I'm just going to remind our YouTube chatters, it's really your last chance to get any questions in. We're going to be wrapping up this interview with Chris in just a moment. And last chance to get in some suggestions for Stake Steady Stack. And then we're going to start just throwing some free stuff at you. So we'll get there in just a moment. Tell us about some bad experiences you've had in the industry, some bad days at work, some people, you don't have to name them necessarily, but that were really like rude or unkind, or, you know, what have been some moments as a pro, as an industry professional, where you've been like, man, fuck this whole fucking thing?
I've maybe never been to the point where I said, fuck this because of a person. There's been moments where I've been gone so long that I was like, I don't know if this is worth it anymore. But there's definitely been, here's the thing, right? Like there's a lot of people that I've come across, and it's especially in the summer when media outlets have hired, because inevitably every summer they have to hire newbies to fill the roles. They just have to. And a lot of people, I've worked with some people who just, even though when they got the gig and they said, yeah, I love tournament poker, I play tournament poker, you'd almost would question if they'd ever heard of a poker tournament when it's like midnight and they're like, man, it's getting late. You think we're getting out of here anytime soon? And like talking about like calling labor lawyers and stuff and everything. And I'm like, have you ever been, do you play cards? Like, do you know what you signed up for? So like for me, like the first year I was there, I mean, there were guys that were not pleasant to work with because of that, because they were just mad at all of it. And me, like I said, I was just stoked to be there. Like they probably could have paid me less and I still would have been stoked to be there. But I also came in acutely aware of what a poker tournament is and what I was signing up for. So I had the proper perspective and expectation of what was going on. So like us, like without naming names, like, sure, yeah, there's been some people where I was just like, what are you talking about, man? Like, I just have to walk away from you because your whole vibe is messing with my vibe. You know what I mean? And then like, I mean, there was a situation this past summer, again, will not name names, but a very close friend of mine who is one of the hardest workers in the industry, another person in the industry said some things about them that were so incredibly untrue that it just kind of hurt my feelings for the person I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like it just bummed me out. And that kind of irked me. And I just couldn't believe that someone could say things that were so untrue about someone who worked so hard. You know what I mean? So like, but those situations are so far and few between, or at least have been for my 2.5 or 3 years in the industry, that they're almost not even a blip on the radar. You know what I mean? By and large, for the most part, everyone that's in the industry is so awesome. They truly love the game, and you can tell that in their work. They're dedicated, they are creative, they're honest, and it just comes through in their work that they really love being there.
Well, it's nice that you're not naming names, but John Somsky, would you like to use this platform to apologize?
To apologize for?
Oh, you know what you did. You know what you did, you bastard.
I do everything wrong. I apologize for everything. Everything is always my fault.
Nothing.
By commission or omission. Either I
Jim, do you want me to mute him?
to make it
You want me
happen.
to mute him? I can mute him.
He apologizes all the time, but you just never hear him. It's just
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, let's get into the last game that we like to play with our guests. We call this one Stake Study Stack. So, Chris, this is similar to a game you might have played as a youth called Kiss, Marry, Kill, or you might have called it something slightly different than that. we're going to give you 3 names, and you have to choose one that you'd like to stake in a poker tournament or cash game, one that you'd like to study with to help yourself improve as a player, and one that you'd really like nothing more than to just stack them and steal all their chips at the table. Stake, study, and stack. Are you ready, sir?
I am so ready.
All right. Your 3 names are Mike Patrick, Sarah Herring, and Claudio Elizalde.
Oh man. We'll study with Claudio. We will stake Sarah, and we'll stack Mike.
Well done, sir. That is the correct answer. Nicely done. Nicely done. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. All right, Chris, thank you so much for this time. It's been a wonderful interview. I've enjoyed getting to know you a little better. What if our audience wants to find out more about you, or say thanks for coming on the show, or follow a social media handle or something like that? What's the best way for folks to reach out to you, and where can they find you and your stuff out there?
Yeah, on Twitter or X and Instagram, I am All or Nubbin. So it's like a play on all or nothing, but it's Nubbin. And that's basically the 2 places you can find me. I mean, I'm on Facebook too, but it's an old account, and like I said, I never use it anymore.
All right, nice.
And
we do have one.
And of course, Poker Org's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. I'm all over those feeds. I've made a ton of the videos on there that I'm not in, and there's a bunch that I am a featured character in. So always go to Poker Org. We love to have people come and check out our stuff there. We try to have a lot of fun.
It's true, and I'm gonna shamelessly plug. I've done a bunch of writing with Poker Org as well, and I'd invite you all to go and check it out. It's mostly crap, but it's kind of fun. You might find some nuggets in there. But if you like the show and you like me, you might enjoy some of that. We do actually have a question from DFS Brad, RECing Crew member Scott Beckham. Says, how would someone get their foot in the door into the industry of poker? What kind of advice would you have for other people who are poker lovers and maybe even have a little experience, but don't have that kind of connection to the industry already?
Yeah. So I think that, especially once you're in the industry and you start getting to know people, it's pretty incredible the number of people that Poker News was their in or their stepping stone into their current role. And off and on throughout the year, they're always looking for people that they can send to places. So like if you're looking to break into the industry and you've never done anything like it before, that's a decent place to start. That's where me and pretty much everybody I know started. And, all the big names over there are the people that you might be able to cold DM and ask if there's a stop coming up, Chad Holloway and whatnot. Poker Org, same thing. I mean, we do things a little differently. We don't have like a dedicated live reporting team like they do. So in terms of like cold DMing opportunities, it's a little bit different. But like those are the 2 big outlets. And just like with anything, right? Like put yourself out there, reach out, email a bunch of people a bunch of times if you have to. And when something does pop up and they've got something that they can offer somebody, whoever the outlet is, maybe your email is the one they open and respond to. That's kind of how it worked out for me. So
that's great.
And essentially everybody that I know that's in that. Like truly, it's really crazy.
Yeah, shoot your shot is the common element, because we ask this of a lot of our guests, and so many of them, the answer is just like, demonstrate some value, get on the radar, go ask, put yourself out there. Putting yourself out there is a big part
for us. Like if you're making content already, or if you want to make some short form, do stuff on your own page and just build up a catalog of things you can send. I mean, just kind of have fun. Like I said, the stuff that I make it because I think I would like it. So do that. Make stuff just to have fun. And then you've got a catalog built up of things that you can show people that you've already done to kind of garner some experience for yourself.
And if at first you don't succeed, then get Jim's mom to harass them until they take you on, despite your lack of talent. So
that has happened. That has happened. That is not I know you're joking, but that has actually happened. Hi, Martha. I love you. Hi, Mom. Yeah, but she also rarely misses an episode, so I'm sure she's tuning in here in the YouTube chat as well. All right. Well, we had one question from Invisible Producer Rob Gardner. And also, Invisible Producer Rob Gardner, are we still teasing? Are we still holding on to the super secret surprise? Because I've only been able to half pay attention to this interview because I'm so tantalized at the notion of.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh,
it's coming.
All right. Stick around. It's not just prizes. We're going to do a truth bomb. The question was, Chris, what do you think of Taylor Swift's new album?
She has a new album out? I had no idea. I'm more of a country guy, Jim. I live in the sticks.
Yeah, there you go.
I know she started out country, but I feel like she's more pop these days. And
I think you're
not
right.
that not that there's not songs of her that I just love, but I'm not, rushing.
You're not missing anything, Chris. You're not missing anything.
I'm not rushing to Spotify to catch the new T Swift drop. You know what I mean?
And Rob Gardner
fair,
losing
that's
yet another sponsor for our podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
I know, right, Joe?
So divisive, such divisive topic to bring on. All right, well, we'll let you get back to that wonderful family, Chris. Thank you so much for joining the RecPoker Podcast and for all your great work in the poker world. And I hope that our paths cross in real time, in real life again sometime real soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, that is the interview with Chris Lefty Land. What a fun time we had. I knew that was going to be a good one. I just knew it. Something was telling me. And he's been such a good sport. We actually had to move his interview around a little bit. He's been very accommodating. Great guy. Go check out his work. And if you see him in real time, say thanks for coming on the RecPoker Podcast. What should we jump into next? John Somsky, why don't we announce some home game winners and see who are going to be some of the people that are going to get some prizes given out today?
All right. Before I start, I will remind everyone that we are switching to TOC Tuesdays. Tournament of Champions events will be on Tuesdays of every month. The second Tuesday of every month will be the Tournament of Champions for the previous daily series. And then in December on the second and third Tuesdays, or maybe the third and fourth, I can't remember, are going to be the TOCs for our championship events. October's mixed event is 6+ Hold'em, so you still have time to play this week if you're listening live. And then our No Limit Hold'em Championship Series. This is done the first Wednesday of every month, and we keep track of points, and whoever has the most points at the end of the year wins the Player of the Year race. El Tahoe got his or her first victory for that. And Evil Roy CA, David Westerveld, has taken the lead in the Player of the Year points race. Also, El Tahoe got his second nightly victory for the year. Jake Ingebretson, got his first nightly victory for the year. Lefty
Well pronounced.
19.
That was a good one.
Lefty 19, another lefty. Mike B got his first nightly victory for the year. 40 Hubert Sokolowski got his fourth nightly victory for the year. K-Poker wannabe Ron Payton got his 13th nightly victory for the year. Always Calling 2, Storm Anderson got his or her first international victory and first lifetime victory for RecPoker. Oslo Burger, Trent Vidar Stensby got his third international victory for the year. And Ship and Flip Breck, Luke O'Driscoll won the daily LPP event this last week, so he can contact info@rec.poker for his free month at Learn Pro Poker.
Nicely done, Luke. Luke doesn't even need that free month. He's already such a beast. He's no stranger to the winner's circle here. Congratulations. Yeah, send that email and claim your fantastic prize. It's also, we're introducing our ambassador home game event. This is on the first Tuesday of every month. There's going to be a special prize for knocking out one of our RecPoker ambassadors. We've been kind of slowly bringing out the excitement about our new RecPoker ambassador program. Stay tuned. We've got some exciting announcements about that coming up. But no surprise, we pulled one out of the hat and we got stuck with Taylor Moss. Taylor is going to be the ambassador of the month, playing in the home game on the first Tuesday of the month. That is tomorrow. And if you take him out, you actually win an hour of coaching from one of our fantastic RecPoker Crew members. And so pay attention. Taylor will also be playing in the online play and hang on Tuesday night, along with a lot of our other ambassadors and RecPoker Crew members and premium members. So come jump into the online play and hang. Oh, and Taylor himself is in the YouTube chat. And and someone is saying that Taylor is their favorite ambassador. I'll let you decide who you think it is that's saying that.
So I'm just curious now, if you knock him out, you get to get a free coaching lesson with somebody. Now, that kind of takes Taylor out of this loop, doesn't it? Because now if you knock him out, why would you want to get a coaching from him?
That's a great question. Why would anyone want to get
know,
coaching
I'm just
from
saying.
Taylor, whether you knock him out or
This is
not?
Rob. This is
These
why
are
we
good
have
questions.
multiple people for coaching.
That's
So.
good. That's a good thing.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I'm really
But-
excited about this actually. Yeah, Rob.
I will say, if any of you want the literal S tier coaching on being dressed all in green for Christmas, there's no
Oh.
better guy than
Yeah.
the Grinch himself.
It's true.
One
He knows
Taylor
his green.
So there you go.
He knows his greens. There's no doubt about it.
Jim,
And
are you ready for some story time, my friend?
I am so ready for some. Actually, well,
All right.
hold on. Let's give away a prize first, and then we can have
Okay.
story time while people enter Food Bank into the YouTube chat to get that one going. This is our premium membership engagement award. Basically, we're going to draw a winner of a free hour of coaching with Matt Affleck, and we're going to do a winner of a free hour of coaching with Mark Zhang. And all these people had to do to qualify to win a free coaching session with these two excellent professional players was show up to one of our premium member events, and that got their name in the raffle. So if you're a premium member, please consider this your invitation to come and attend some of our premium membership events throughout the month. They're great ways to get better at poker, and just by attending, you get your name in the hat here to win an hour of coaching from some of these fantastic folks. And I love the colors this week, Rob. I got to tell you, those are very
I brought it
Steelers
back for you,
friendly
buddy.
colors. I appreciate that.
I needed to
Best
make
spot
up
in my
for the
heart.
next segment, so
Oh, fuck.
I
Oh,
wanted to.
Lord.
I wanted to grease the wheel here.
Okay,
All right.
let's see what you got. So let's do the first one. Who is our first winner? And I'll sort this all out with our winners over email. Who's going to be working with who? But I'm happy to announce the first winner, Jason Velasco, RECing Crew member and ambassador, is our first winner. And I believe he's already had a session with one of our coaches. So we'll have to give him the other one there. Let's see who is our second winner tonight. I love this wheel of fame and fortune. This is really going nicely for me. Joe Walton. Okay, I got it in here. Another RECing Crew member. You love to see these RECing Crew members getting in there and getting active. Good for them. And good for everyone who wants to attend our premium membership events. Hey, folks, you're paying $22 a month. Come on and get in on the action and improve your poker game and win some coaching hours. Joe, did you want to say something kind of smart-assy there? No? Okay, just me then. All right, just fair enough.
I can come up with something if you want.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right,
You're
all
good.
right.
No, this is fine. This is fine. Thanks, Joe. All right, Rob. So folks, now please start typing the words Food Bank in. That's going to give us a little time for invisible, well, actually quite visible producer Rob Gardner to put the second.
He's going to have me
wheel of fame and
multitask
fortune
here.
together. I know you got a lot going on, brother. But focus on story time too, because I can't wait to hear what's going on. Folks, type Food Bank in, and then Rob will set up a wheel in just a minute. But you've been tantalizing us all hour. What's going on?
I have. So listen, I've been privy to some information that I came into last month about the RecPoker community that not even Jim Reid knows. And to kind of set the stage for this, I have to go back to July 17th of 2024. Now, I'm going to bring you behind the curtain here, because what a lot of you don't realize is about every 6 to 12 weeks, I text Jim Reid and I say, "Did you get good sleep last night?" And Jim understands that what that text message means is I have some harebrained, crazy idea that's going to rock the boat a little bit.
True.
And he's either going to love it or it's going to make him really uncomfortable. And to Jim Reid's credit, he's always been very open-minded, and the times that he gets uncomfortable, it's not because he doesn't like fresh ideas or creativity. It's because this is his brainchild. He's done amazing things with this community. We have all benefited from his vision, his leadership. So I never take it personally when I get that look of, angst and constipation from him.
Ooh.
Anyways, so long story short, July 17th of 2024, I came to him with one of these set ideas. And he gave me the green light for it. And so we put some things in motion. We started working with this. And last Sunday, I'm in my hotel room. I had just Final Table to Run Good event, and I pulled up some data on the RecPoker community. And I went, holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Literally, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, holy shit. I cannot believe what I'm staring at. And I've been sitting on this.
Oh my God, you're killing us.
Days. For 10 freaking days. Because the
We're all going to strangle
community,
him.
The RecPoker community combined for $177,000 in cashes in September.
Oh.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have hit $1 million in September. We talked about maybe hitting this by the end of October, and we nailed it on September 29th of 2025.
So you did rock my world, man. You just blew my brain. That is crazy. I am so excited for us. RecPoker premium members. Look at this. I mean, listen, when you first suggested the idea that we could hit $1 million in a year, I was like, oh, tell them that it'll be a nice idea, but like, we're not really going to hit $1 million, right? I was like, be supportive, but I don't think how could we actually hit $1 million? But you fucking nailed it, man. Jesus. I am so impressed with our membership. And way to go. Everyone on the RECing Crew, all the folks that have been putting in the time coaching, all of our players who are taking the game more seriously. Like, we don't even have that many premium members. Like, one of the things that's so impressive about that, Rob, is that we're a pretty small group, in the poker world compared to a lot of other like training communities and learning sites and that kind of stuff out there. But the idea that we as a group could cash for over $1 million, and it's the first week of October. There's a whole fiscal quarter to go in this year.
There is.
I mean, I am so I am stunned and impressed and amazed and so pleased. Nicely done, Rob. I was not
hard
expecting
to sit
that.
on this, Jim. It was
You really did. You really did for me. We got to do something really special. I don't know what we're going to do to commemorate that, but that is outstanding. All right. I don't know. Someone else say something. My brain is overloaded.
So just remember that when you put that all together, it was going to be the 1 million was going to be divided equally amongst the RECing Crew members. So you can reach me at.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I do. It's
out
on the tape with along with Lorianne talking about different nicknames she has for me. So.
Yeah, then it was never said.
I do want to point out a comment that Dan Kennedy made, which said Craig may have helped, and I do not want to take anything away from what Craig. Craig absolutely did help, but what I'm most excited about in us hitting this in September is we didn't just hit 1 million. We're going to hit 1 million even if we took Craig's score out. So nobody's going to be able to look at this community and be like, oh, well, yeah, somebody won a bracelet. Of course you guys hit $1 million. We're going to hit 1.245 or whatever it is very comfortably. And every score from the biggest score that Craig had down to some of the smallest scores have all contributed to what's happened here. And I am very excited to announce that next year we're going to hit 2 million. And y'all are just going to have to come along with me for the ride. You guys think I'm joking? I'm not. $2 million is coming in 2026.
Oh man. Well, I will admit I was a gentle doubter when you said it the first time, but you got me, man. Like I'm a believer. I'm so amazed and impressed. And yeah, we talk about like Craig Savage and how people are going to be like, oh, well, they cast for over 1 million, but Craig's was a quarter of that or something like that. It's like, yeah, by the way, a RecPoker member also won $250,000 in a freaking WSOP bracelet this summer. Like, yeah, that's a really good thing, actually. It's so exciting. But yeah, that's a great point, Rob. I can't wait to see if we can eclipse that this year. And wow, yeah, super excited. Thank you so much to all of our RECing Crew members, all of our ambassadors, all of our volunteers, all of our premium members, all the community members, the folks that come out and support what we're doing in the YouTube chat, the Patreon subscribers. I'll tell you, none of this happens without a lot of people pitching in some time, some money, some expertise, some goodwill. We only exist because people support what we're doing. And I am so proud of us, and I'm so grateful to the people in this community who've made it what it is. I'm having a very emotional response to this, Rob, and thank you so much for your role in this. All right, save me. Let's give away some another prize here. Let's help support a local food bank, and then let's roll the heck on out of here because this is insane. All right, our food bank winner for the month, and this month the donations will be made to the Fair Share Food Bank in Cobourg, Ontario. And there's our first one that came up as food bank. So I'll be donating $20 of my own money to the Fair Share Food Bank here in Cobourg. And let's see who is going to win a free month at Jacka Coaching. Looks like, oh, we thought it was going to be DFS Brad, but he got edged out at the end by a nose. Eric Anderson, please send your email to info@rec.poker, Eric, to claim your prize. If you've done it before, you will do it again. Enjoy your free month at Jacket Coaching. Oh, man. Okay. Well, listen, I got to shout out our fantastic sponsors, the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino on Monday, October 13th. That's next week. It's Indigenous Peoples Day, so they'll be having their holiday double stack tournament. That starts at 10 a.m. with a $200 buy-in and 24,000 starting chip stack. Get in there. And then a couple weeks later, it's Hallow Scream from October 22nd to 26th. That's a multi-flight event with a $360 buy-in. What an amazing episode, folks. Chris was such a great guest. Rob, you blew my mind. I cannot believe we made it over $1 million in cashes, and it's just the first week of October. That is so cool. Is there anything else that we have to mention? Am I missing something? I'm totally on cloud nine right now. Did I remember to thank everybody? Good Lord. What are we doing? All right, let's get the heck on out of here. I want to thank Chris Land for being a great guest. Lorianne Persinger, Joe Coolis, Rob Washam, Invisible Producer Rob Gardner, John Sonsky, all our YouTube chatters. They get some wonderful stuff in the YouTube chat tonight. Thank you all so much. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week on the RecPoker Podcast.